This small mistake makes it worth more than 35,000 pesos.
Wait, hold on a second. Are you telling me that sticker I could buy from Panini for just 8 pesos is worth 35,000 pesos? Seriously? Is that what they're selling us? Today I'm gonna tell you the whole story of how a guy on TikTok fooled half of Mexico. And this isn't just any story, because this story has consequences. How people ended up paying more than 60,000 pesos for a sticker that's worth less than a taco. And most importantly, how not to fall for these kinds of scams or believe everything you see. That's why you have to be very careful if you're a collector. Because it turns out this isn't new. In the world of Hot Wheels, the exact same thing has happened to us. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you something that I think is very important. Panini albums can be worth a lot of money, but not now, not at this moment. So make yourself comfortable because I'm going to explain all of this to you in detail. Stay until the end of the video, because believe me, this is valuable information. Welcome to a new video from Custom Mexico. First things first, the Panini World Cup album is the biggest in Panini's history. 980 stickers, 48 teams, 112 pages. Nothing like this has happened before. The softcover album costs 99 pesos. The hardcover one costs 349 pesos. Each pack contains 7 stickers and costs 25 pesos. And if you want to fill the whole album without any repeats, which is mathematically impossible, you need to spend at least 3,500 pesos on packs. In real life, with repeats, trades and bad luck, like some of us have, we're talking about 5,000 pesos more or less that you'd spend to fill the whole album. Inside this album, there's a sticker that's causing a lot of commotion, and it's the special one marked with the number 00. It's the shiny holographic introductory card. The image it has is of Carlo Parola, an Italian defender from Juventus, who played only one match in the 1950 World Cup in Brazil. A man that few people know, but whose silhouette we've all seen without realizing it. And with this card, all the fuss began. A few days ago, a guy on TikTok uploaded a video, showed the 00 sticker, brought it close to the camera, turned it so it would shine, pointed to a print line, and said that line is a factory error, and that's why it's worth 35,000 pesos. In a matter of minutes, the video blows up. Millions of views in just a few hours. People checking their albums like crazy. Comments like, I have it, I got the line too, I'm selling it. How much will you offer? And you know what always happens? On Mercado Libre, they started listing it for 35,000 pesos, then 40,000, then 50,000, and even 60,000 pesos. And you know what's the worst part? There were actually people who bought it. Do you know the responsibility that comes with being here in front of a camera and saying these kinds of things? That's why I don't like short-form social media. But anyway, when he realized everything that was happening, the creator himself came out and confessed everything. This is a lie. He made it up. It was a viral joke. This guy thought he could just go on camera and make this up. Do you know everything he stirred up? Do you know how the world of collecting works? Because unfortunately today what is said in front of a camera is real for many people.
I made a viral video that got over 6 million views across my social networks and was even featured in Puebla newspapers. Out of curiosity, I checked Mercado Libre. They sell for up to 60,000 pesos.
But let's break this down because it was a lie from the very first second. Panini has an official service on their website. You go in with the album code, order the ones you're missing, and they send them to you. Each sticker is about 8 pesos. Shipping has a flat fee of about 80 pesos. No sticker, not even Messi's, not even Cristiano Ronaldo's, not even the 00 is excluded from the service. If this card was really worth 35,000 pesos, Panini had a legal problem for selling it for just 8 pesos. More or less. It's becoming clear how this works and why there's a legal problem. Because remember, to release a product, you have to guarantee that the product can be completed. That is, it can have all the stickers available and later you can buy them. That's why some collectibles, some magazine issues, are later sold separately. So that you can complete the whole process. Fill your album, have your figure, complete your car. Point 2. Factory errors really do exist, but they're not that simple. In serious collecting, there are items with production errors that are worth money. But those errors are specific. The wrong name, the wrong player's photo, the number that doesn't match, things that are verified and documented. That is, if you got Messi with the number 25, maybe that would be a production error. A print line that appears on thousands of stickers from the same print run. It's not a rarity. That's known as a widespread production defect. It's nothing unusual. The machine probably had something wrong when that series was produced. And point 3, and one of the most important. If many people have it, it's no longer rare, and this happens with any collectible, even Hot Wheels. It goes for figures, for everything. If a lot are produced, it's not rare, it's not exclusive, it's not limited. And we should have realized this deception from the very first second. The comments on the original video were full of people saying, "I got one with that line too." That tells you everything. Without scarcity, there's no premium price. That's how collecting works. If there's no scarcity, it's not going to go up. That's why many brands manipulate expensive products by releasing an exclusive and limited line. Point 4, variant versus error. The difference that nobody explains to you. A variant is a change that the factory made at some point during production. It appears in many units because it was a decision, not an accident. An error is a unique flaw that slipped through without anyone noticing, without anyone realizing, and that's how it reached the market. What happened with the 00 sticker was a production variant, not an error, and a mass-produced variant is worth nothing. It's only worth 8 pesos. Now I want to tell you that this doesn't just happen with Panini. Let's talk about the topic that we like, which is what we collect. Hot Wheels. Because what you just saw with Panini, in the world of Hot Wheels the same thing happens, and more than once. A few weeks ago we're talking about April of this year. The story of a guy who went to a flea market went viral. He found a box with 690 old Hot Wheels. He bought the whole box for just 25 euros. That's about 410 pesos. That's less than what each one costs on its own. And as always happens lately on social media, that's why nobody believes what they see in videos anymore. He posted about it saying that he was officially going to be a millionaire, that he didn't have to work anymore for the next 10 years. And the logic he used to document this discovery was that he recognized a Nissan Skyline GTR in this box among the 690 cars it contained. According to him, it sells for between 40 and 60 euros. We're talking about him valuing a basic GTR at around 800 pesos. We all know that's not the case, unless it was an RLC. But it wasn't an RLC. He thought that with that car, he had already recovered his investment. And he thought that the box could be worth much more because it was full of several cars that he hadn't even seen. People went wild. Thousands of comments. Congrats, you hit the jackpot. You got the good one. You really scored. Good-natured envy. People all over the internet were pulling out calculators, people doing the math on everything that box could have. Just imagine how far we've come. And I'm gonna tell you what the problem is, and what nobody tells you, is that between buying 690 Hot Wheels in one box and charging 700 euros for it, that is selling them. There's a big difference. Many of these cars are scratched, they're worn out, they don't have wheels, they've been used for years, the windows are in really rough shape. It works for me. And I know that right now you're telling me you've bought cars like that. And it's true. I've bought cars that are very damaged and it works for me. And do you know why? Because I know how to fix them. But not everyone knows how to fix them. Not everyone knows how to sell them. So you can't think it's going to be quick to sell these kinds of finds. And there's something else you need to know. Just because an influencer or someone tells you that this part is worth 60 euros, it doesn't mean you'll be able to sell it for 60 euros. Those are two completely different things. You have to find the right buyer. You have to find someone who's truly willing to pay for it, who values it. And if you do find one, congratulations. But this is very rare. And that's exactly what happens with the stickers. For me, ones worth 60,000 pesos are just myths. They're things that don't exist. And a lot of new creators use them to go viral. But why does this happen? Because it works. When you put in the titles of a video, I found something that's worth a lot of money. Just look at the title I used for this video. It works. That's why we have to start being selective, to analyze the videos we watch, especially as collectors. Because we buy a lot of things and sometimes, out of excitement, we might end up getting scammed. Now I'm going to tell you something very important, because I don't want you to leave this video with the wrong idea. Factory errors in Hot Wheels do exist, and some of them can actually be worth real money, even a lot of money. What kinds of errors are there in Hot Wheels? Wheels from another model put on the wrong casting, graphics printed upside down, missing factory parts, cards with the wrong name or image. Those errors, when they are verified and documented by the community, can multiply the value of a regular Hot Wheels. It could be worth $3 or $4 more. It's not like you're going to become a millionaire. The same model with a documented error. It can go up from, if the car cost 35 pesos, maybe to 40, 45 or 50 pesos, depending on what the error is. I'm not just telling you this. You can verify it online, like on Hot Wheels Wikia. There are already many specialists who are dedicated to collecting errors, and they can help you more in valuing your error Hot Wheels. But be very careful, because these kinds of errors, they can also be made with very little effort. Someone changes the wheels at home and sells it as a factory error. Someone can pretend that suddenly they rub off a little bit of the printed design and then they'll want to sell it to you as an error. So be very careful. That's why the serious community has very clear rules. The chassis rivets, for example, must be intact. The error must be visible through the blister without opening it. Opening a Hot Wheels with an error lowers its value. There should also be documentation from other trusted collectors. If your Hot Wheels error meets these criteria, congratulations, you have a valuable piece to sell. And not just a single story like Panini's. And now comes what nobody has told you. Amid all this 60,000 peso scandal, Panini albums are worth money, but not now, years from now. And listen to me carefully, because this is important. The first Panini World Cup album was in 1970 in Mexico. Today, complete albums, they have been auctioned for more than 150,000 pesos. 150,000 pesos for a sticker album. The France 98 album, that one that some friends from my generation have stored away at their parents' or uncles' houses. Today, there are well-preserved copies that can reach extremely high prices among collectors. And the Qatar 2022 one, which is recent, has already started to go above the cost of completing it for around 5,000 or 6,000 pesos, but lo puedes encontrar entre los 5,000, 6,000 pesos. Pero this takes years. Once they stop making them, and stickers aren't sold anymore, they become rare, and obviously, it depends a lot on the condition. Why does the price go up over the years? For the same reasons as always, pure collecting. Scarcity and nostalgia. Over time, albums get lost. They get wet, torn, damaged, and discarded. You can't find them now. No one sells complete packs anymore. You can't go to Panini to get them anymore because they don't print them anymore. And those albums in good condition and well taken care of become scarcer every day. And that happens with everything that's collectible. When something is discontinued and unavailable, it reminds you of something and stirs feelings. It becomes expensive, sought after, and everyone wants it. That's why collecting goes by generations. One generation already played with bootleg toys. Now comes the generation of 90s toys. Now think about the 2026 album, the biggest in Panini's history, 980 stickers. The second to last one, 48 teams. And possibly, as the experts say, and I truly believe it, the last album where Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo will appear together. The last one of a whole generation. The last one with these stars, with these idols. Obviously, this album is going to be worth a lot of money in many years. And here, it's speculation. We can't know for sure yet, but that's how collecting works. Now answer me this question. Do you think that in 20 years it will be easy to find a 2026 album complete, well preserved, without wrinkles, with all the stickers well placed? Obviously not. If you take care of this album and store it properly, it will be worth much more than it costs today. Not 60,000 pesos right now for a sticker that everyone has, but the complete album. Well preserved in 15 or 20 years, I probably won't get to see that. But you know what's the best part? And what's beautiful about collecting the World Cup album? The time spent together, doing it with your kids, sharing that moment. That's what an album is made for, not to make money. An album keeps memories, it keeps love, it keeps affection, it keeps admiration, it keeps family. Don't do it for money. To sum up, the Zero sticker for 60,000 pesos, that's a lie. It's worth 8 pesos. And you can get it at Panini once this whole promotion is over. Factory errors that go viral without a verifiable source are almost always a hoax, and it's just to take your money. The 690 Hot Wheels that might be worth a fortune maybe, but only with a lot of work, time, dedication, and an expert who can restore them. The 2026 album, if it's complete and well preserved in 20 years, that one could actually be worth good money. Real collecting isn't about excitement. It's not a race to have it first. It's not a race to have the most valuable one. It's not about saying, I have more than others. Real collecting is about spending time together. It's healthy, it's nice, and it should be a hobby that you can actually pursue and complete with your family. Remember, I'm Mr. Skis in Mexico. See you next time, gentlemen. Be happy. I love you all a lot. Don't waste your money foolishly. If you spend money, choose things you enjoy and that entertain you. Spend as much as you want, but make sure it motivates you, brings you together, and makes you feel good. See you next time. Goodbye.